What if tomorrow morning the internet slowed down, global markets crashed, and news alerts everywhere showed the same three words: China attacks Taiwan? No sci-fi, no movie, no future fantasy, just reality. Because right now, off the coast of China, lies a small island that could drag the entire world into the largest war of the 21st century. An island smaller than many countries, but more powerful than most. Today, we're asking one dangerous question: can China really take over Taiwan? And if it tried, what would actually happen? Part 1. Why Taiwan matters so much at first glance. Taiwan looks small, but Taiwan is not just land. Taiwan is technology. Taiwan is power. Taiwan is global control. Over 90% of the world's most advanced microchips are made in Taiwan. Your phone, your car, military weapons, AI systems, satellites, stock markets, all depend on Taiwanese chips. If China controls Taiwan, China doesn't just gain territory. China gains a chokehold on the world's technology. That is why the US, Japan, South Korea, and Europe all watch Taiwan like a loaded gun on the table. Part 2. Why China wants Taiwan for China. Taiwan is not another country. China calls Taiwan a breakaway province. To Beijing, Taiwan is unfinished history from the Chinese Civil War. Letting Taiwan exist independently is, in China's eyes, a political humiliation, a security threat, a challenge to Communist Party authority. And for President Xi Jinping, Taiwan is personal. Reuniting Taiwan with China would secure his place beside Mao in Chinese history. Failing to do so could weaken his control at home. So this isn't only geopolitics. This is regime survival. Part 3. How China could try to take Taiwan. China cannot just walk into Taiwan. Taiwan is an island fortress. To invade, China would need the largest amphibious operation since World War II. That means thousands of ships, hundreds of thousands of soldiers. Total air and naval dominance, weeks of uninterrupted supply lines. And all of it across 130 kilometers of open ocean. A nightmare for any military. China has three main possible strategies. 1. Missile blitz. China could begin with massive missile and cyber strikes, targeting air bases, radar systems, ports, power grids, internet cables. Government centers. The goal would be to blind Taiwan before the world can react. Not to conquer immediately, but to paralyze. 2. Naval blockade. Instead of invasion, China could surround Taiwan. No ships in, no ships out. No oil, no food, no chips exported. This would slowly suffocate Taiwan's economy. But a blockade is an act of war. And the moment China does this, the US Navy is forced to respond. This is where global war becomes very real. 3. Full-scale invasion, the most dangerous option. China would attempt to land forces on Taiwan's beaches, seize ports, and push inland. But Taiwan has spent decades preparing for this exact moment. Hidden missile systems, underground bases, mountain bunkers, sea mines, drone fleets. Taiwan's strategy is simple: turn the invasion into hell. Part 4. Can Taiwan defend itself? Taiwan is not weak. It has one of the most advanced militaries in Asia, and more importantly, Taiwan does not plan to defeat China. It plans to delay China, delay long enough for allies to arrive. Every destroyed ship, every lost hour, every blocked landing increases the chance that the United States enters the war. And China knows this. That's why speed is everything. But speed across water is fragile. And war is never clean. Part 5. What would the United States do? Officially, the US follows strategic ambiguity. Unofficially, every military exercise, every weapons sale, every carrier group says the same thing: the US is preparing for a Taiwan war. If China invades, the US faces a historic choice: Protect Taiwan and fight China, or abandon Taiwan and watch its global power collapse. Because if Taiwan falls, U.S. allies across Asia stop trusting America. Japan rearms fully. South Korea considers nuclear weapons. The global order fractures. So this is not about Taiwan alone. This is about who controls the future world system. Part 6. Would China actually win? China is powerful. But taking Taiwan is not the same as threatening Taiwan. An invasion would be militarily complex, economically catastrophic, politically risky, globally explosive, even if China eventually won. Its economy could collapse from sanctions. Global trade could freeze. China could lose decades of development. Victory might look more like mutual destruction. This is why many analysts believe China prefers pressure, intimidation, cyber war, political infiltration, not open invasion, at least. Not yet. Part 7. The most dangerous factor is not weapons. It is time. China's population is aging. Economic growth is slowing. Global alliances are tightening. Some in Beijing may believe the future will not be easier than now, and that belief makes war more tempting. History shows this clearly. Nations often strike not when they are strongest, but when they fear decline. Final thought so. Can China take over Taiwan militarily? Maybe, quickly. Unlikely, without triggering global war. Almost impossible. Taiwan is not just an island. It is a fuse. And the moment it burns, the world changes. Forever, OUTRO call to action. If this war begins, it won't stay in Asia. It will enter your economy, your technology, your daily life. Because in the modern world, no war is distant anymore. If you want more deep geopolitical breakdowns, hidden power struggles, and the real stories behind world tensions, subscribe to Secrets of Earth, because history is not sleeping. It's loading.